Hi there, thanks for watching. I'm Doc Acula, and I'm playing at least 1 hour of every single game on Xbox Game Pass, then giving a quick review of each one to give you an idea if the game is worthy of your time. Surgeon Simulator 2, let's go! I loved Surgeon Simulator 1, so you can imagine that I was very excited when Surgeon Simulator 2 came to Xbox Game Pass. The question is, would it live up to the lofty standards set by the original, or would this sequel be dead on arrival? More importantly, is it worth your precious time and hard drive space? It was immediately obvious that something about this game wasn't quite right for me, but it took me a second to put my finger on it. After thinking about it, I remembered that in Surgeon Simulator 1, your character's arm only extended when you were using your hand, while here, your arm is permanently extended. In fact, unless I'm mistaken, in the first game, the arm was the only part of the body you were able to move at all. Here, I'm not only running through hallways, but jumping and crouching as well. It was fun, but it was starting to feel less like Surgeon Simulator. It's important to establish what I loved about Surgeon Simulator so much, as it definitely influenced how I felt about the sequel. The thing is, I felt that the original captured the very essence of learning how to do something brand new and foreign in a way that I don't think I've ever seen before. As I watched my children as newborns, trying to figure out how to get control of their hands for the first time, I thought of Surgeon Simulator. That feeling of knowing exactly what you're wanting to do, but being unable to do it because of the cumbersome controls reminded me so much of my kids held back by their feeble juvenile nervous system. I felt that the game presented a simplified version of a profound human experience, and then to top it off, there was the juxtaposition of such brilliant control mechanics against the absurdity of performing surgery with no better than the coordination of my little children, who have, at best, mediocre hand-eye coordination. It was just one of those experiences that personally affected me more than it had any business doing. And now that's all out the window for the sequel. Instead of being framed around anything even kind of resembling actual surgery, instead you're forced into a series of puzzles, usually revolving around gaining access to a room that has a key component for the surgery you're needing to perform. Most of the time, this includes a weird amount of jumping, but it's never particularly interesting. The most memorable of the puzzles I experienced was one where I had to stand on a box so I could dunk a paint can through a slot above a door, where it would then fall down and activate a switch on the other side. Yeah, my friends call me Shaq, but you can call me Mr. O'Neill. The thing is, this puzzle wasn't memorable because it was great. It was memorable because it was so out of place compared to what I expected from Surgeon Simulator, and also because it was a little bit janky. As for the actual surgeries, they're fine, but they play such a second fiddle to the puzzle aspect of the levels that the surgery is little more than removing the sick body part and shoving in the new healthy one. There's not a lot of nuance to it and not a lot of interesting gameplay. This is more subjective, so other people might not agree with me, but I found the humor to be way too over the top. It felt like it was trying too hard and went so far out of reality that I thought the jokes ended up missing their marks. What is always funny to me is goofy over the top physics, which I spent most of my time playing around with. Flinging items haphazardly around the room is a shtick that I will never get tired of. There's definitely some enjoyment to find in Surgeon Simulator 2 just in messing around with the items found all over the environment. The last thing I'll mention is that the game has a co-op component for up to 4 players. I didn't get to experience it during my hour, but I could definitely see how it could be a fun time, especially with a group of friends to laugh with. I just wouldn't expect to get much more than a few chuckles out of it before moving on to something else. Don't get me wrong, Surgeon Simulator 2 is by no means terrible. However, it takes a step back from the greatness of the original by adding some questionable mechanics and with some hit or miss humor. For any prospective players who get a kick out of messing around with physics, there might be a decent amount of fun to be had. On the other hand, for anyone else who isn't quite as juvenile as me, the jumping sections and simple puzzles certainly won't hold your attention for very long. In the end, I would say that Surgeon Simulator 2 is maybe worth your time and hard drive space. Thank you so much for watching.